I refused to confront my brother after he got cheated on. Why is that? What do you mean by that? About 9 years ago, my brother's wife left him for another man. All right, there it is. She was cheating on him all that time. My brother was devastated. They had married very young, and I was always against that. I had my brother in my apartment for months. By the way, this comes from user Art East 1674 on the r/okstorytime subreddit. So he'd fallen into a severe depression, and I was the one who paid for his psychologist since he didn't have the money and even lost his job because he didn't even want to move from the couch to the bathtub. I even gave him a bath at some point.
What?
I love this man.
Oh my goodness.
I bathed this man.
I love my brother, and he could go through a lot of hard things, but his arms are going to have to not work for me to give him a bath.
I wasn't bothered by that. I did everything for my brother. She just left and blocked him from everywhere.
Oh.
She simply confessed to him that she had been cheating on him for a year and that she was in love with that man.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. That's gotta hurt.
No.
4 years after that, when my brother was finally starting to feel better, she reappeared in everyone's life.
Oh, great timing.
Yeah. Oh, yay. The worst person ever is back. Woohoo.
He just got back from feeling good. Do it again.
The typical thing happened. She and her lover were no longer together. She had begun to receive psychological help and changed completely. She felt regretful. She was really sorry, etc.
She came to her senses.
I told my brother all the time to cut off contact with her for the sake of his mental health. He didn't. I always had a bad feeling, and I could smell the crap from afar. He started to justify her past actions all the time by saying that she changed.
What?
They were too young. She was having problems. Oh, blah, 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 blah. And he got angry when I told him that she's still a B.
Dude, this happened 4 years ago, and he's going to take her back?
I mean, hey, 4 years is enough time to let go, right? Right? Right?
That's a presidential cycle. We get a new president usually after 4 years.
New president, old relationship. That's how that works. Every time there's a new president, you get back with your ex. So shortly after that, they got back together, and my brother cut off all contact with me because I didn't accept their relationship, and he didn't want anyone to come between them. I told him to F off, and now we don't talk anymore.
What the heck?
Wow.
Dude.
Okay.
This guy's not thinking with the right head.
I mean...
Yeah, you
no,
can't
you're
think
right.
of any
You're
other.
right.
Yeah,
no, I couldn't think of a single thing.
Not at all, dude.
I couldn't. Just, you got to move on from somebody who does this stuff to you, dude.
Especially to the point where your brother had to bathe you.
Now, my brother has reappeared at my house after years without him wanting to talk to me, only to tell me that his wife cheated on him again.
Oh.
But this time they have children.
Oh, boy.
He tried to tell you, OP tried to tell you this was going to happen.
Dude.
And you didn't listen.
You know, whenever you read a book, you're going to get the same ending, even if you read it again.
Yeah. The ending didn't change. The ending did not change. Wow. Okay. In the past, I would have let him in. I would have hugged him and everything. But he has been gone for years without even inviting me to meet his children.
Oh.
And he has not even spoken to me or congratulate me on my marriage or on my pregnancy.
Oh.
I even invited him to my wedding and he didn't come.
Oh, dude. So he just cut off all contact.
Yeah. Well, he didn't.
Oh my gosh.
He didn't go to your wedding because he was too busy being a simp for his wife that was cheating on him.
Cheated on.
He was too busy standing up for the woman who was cheating on him. Yep. Yep. I told him that at this moment, I can't let him be in my house, which is actually true because I can't have that kind of stress. He told me that we are siblings and he needs me, but I told him that I needed him too, but he was never there because he cut me off for that woman. We had an argument and my husband ended up kicking him out because I was already crying. He's staying with our parents now, and my mother just tells me it's not the time to hold a grudge against him and he needs me. But I can't forget how he didn't think twice before cutting off all contact with me for her.
I stand by this. You were there for your brother. in his worst moment and he couldn't be there for you in your best moments because he was too distracted, I stand by it.
Yeah.
It sucks. I wouldn't completely cut them off. I would be like, hey, I'm not taking you in. I love you. Start rebuilding it a little bit more.
That's probably the best way to approach it is not.
But I'm not bathing you, man.
Not being like a get out of here like you're unwanted, but being like, hey, it would be great if you could come into my house right now, but you really can't because we've become estranged. And if we want to rebuild that relationship, we can't start at I'm now taking care of you again.
Yeah.
We have to start somewhere else. Update. I have spoken to my mother because she kept trying to persuade me to talk to my brother.
Okay.
She came to see me since I can't move too much. She basically told me that my brother is very sorry, and I told her that he should tell me and not her. But my mother replied that my brother is too embarrassed about his actions. I told her that I'm not going to let her be any kind of mediator, and my brother is old enough to speak for himself.
Facts.
I know he was sending her to insist that I talk back to him, but my brother is an adult and can speak for himself. Yes, he certainly should be.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
That being said, 2 days ago, my brother came to my house to talk about everything. He told me something that I always knew, which is that he never got over his ex-wife. And he was always totally blind for her.
Whoa.
You
really?
don't say.
I couldn't tell.
I'd be pretty embarrassed about that, too.
Yeah, I would.
He believed that all of us who were against him coming back to her were toxic, and he should cut us out of his life because we were an obstacle that didn't believe people could change. So that's what he did with me. He blocked me out of his life.
Oh, boy.
He said that he feels ashamed of himself for having been so blind since she cheated on him again. I never told him I told you so, nor am I going to, because he already knows that.
Yeah.
There were many people worried about whether their children were his, but I can assure everyone that they are. They look identical to him, and luckily, she was maybe faithful at that time. Anyway, after talking, he apologized to me and told me that he needs me, but I told him the same thing as that day. I needed him too, and he was never there.
Yeah.
I forgive him for everything, but that doesn't mean that I want to go back to everything being like it was before because I don't want to put myself in that situation again.
I don't want to bathe you again.
I don't want to be your bather. No matter how rough it gets. Look,
I'm not doing it again, okay, man?
You're talking to somebody who was at one point your bather, designated bather, and I can't go back. I don't want everything to go back like before because I don't want to put myself in that situation again. He didn't even tell me what he's going to do with his wife, and I don't want the situation to repeat. Well, I hope what he's going to do is leave her, for God's sake.
Leave her, wait a few years for her to get better, and then go back with her.
Yeah, he's going to... And we're going to rinse and repeat, baby. Rinse and repeat.
Rinse and repeat.
I never did anything expecting something in return, but it did hurt me a lot that he turned his back on me without thinking twice and only came back when things got bad for him. Had invited him to my wedding, maybe foolishly believing that he would come, but he didn't even do that. I even kept a seat for him thinking that he was maybe coming late, and I really feel dumb for doing that. I told him I'm sorry, but I want things to continue as before since I got used to not having him in my life, and I don't trust that he won't use me as a nurse and therapist anymore. At first, he didn't understand and said that we're siblings and we should be united. But when I told him that he forgot that for years, he shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, we're supposed to be united. Dude, you left.
You did
You
leave.
left for years. I was your bather. I bathed you, a grown man. I bathed you out of love.
And you couldn't just show up to my wedding.
And then you don't get to play the card of we're siblings, we're united. You left first.
Yeah. It goes both ways.
For your cheating scoundrel wife that everybody told you not to take back.
Yeah.
You cut off your whole family for this woman who cheated on you again.
Wild.
And by the way, we don't ever want you to cheat on us by not joining us live on YouTube every weekday at 3 p.m. Just tap our profile. And if you don't, we now officially consider it adultery.
Yeah. Just like that.
You have to be in the stream or you're cheating on us.
Exactly.
I simply told him that I prefer to continue without contact with him as before, and I've made it clear to my mother that I want to spend these months peacefully. Maybe some will call me cruel and say I should think about my family, but I'm not going to let him treat me like she treated him. And that is the end of that story.
Good riddance. I hate to see a broken relationship between brothers. I am a huge
it's brother
proponent.
and sister.
Oh, it's brother and sister?
Brother and sister.
Oh,
I think
okay.
I might have made a mistake at the beginning of the story where
thought they were
I
brothers.
gendered the OP as a male.
Got it.
but
Okay.
Brother sister.
Well, still, I hate to see a broken relationship between siblings.
Yeah, true.
And that's good for you for standing your ground. That's huge.
Yeah, I mean, he left first, and it's definitely a situation where he came back because now he needs something. And I think maybe you could slowly let him back into your life, but certainly not at a level that like would be anywhere considered like back to normal. Like it would have to be a long process of rebuilding the foundation of y'all's relationship.
Yeah.
Because he broke up that foundation. He took a jackhammer to it when he took back his cheating ass ex-wife.